We are receiving components of ancient codes that are billions of years old that will embed itself almost within our soil, within our DNA, within our beings to support a quickening in our human biological evolution. And I've been doing this work for 37 years. This is a really important wave, not something to be afraid of. Propaganda goes out there saying that it is, just dismiss it because it's a bunch of baloney. As it is connecting with the sun and comes closer and closer in contact with it, it will be interacting. And in that interaction, the sun itself will be receiving components. And those codes and components will be absorbed by the sun, which will reflect them. Then they will be projected as layers of light that will interact with all of you, and you will receive them, which will create a new life forms on a biological level to begin to form and to give birth to, that will shift the consciousness completely. There is going to be a delivery of many beings that will come in the form of children on your planet who are of an avatar quality, that carry codes and frequencies of pure light, that are opening an aperture to a new being.
Welcome, everybody, to the Heart Coherence Collaborative. Today's a very amazing day for a few different reasons. One, I'm in Sedona. I'm out here bathing in some of these intense energies that are coming in. And I am honored to have Kelly Kolodney back with us, who channels Raphael. The last time she came on, it was incredible. And Kelly told me recently that she was going to be spending 3 days in darkness. And I wanted to talk to her as soon as she came out. So I'm wondering, now that you've been in the dark for 3 days, is there anything your heart wants you to share?
Oh God, my heart wants to say just enjoy every second and cherish every moment because it's so precious and everything is so alive and trying to talk to us. If only we will pay attention. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was the reason for going into the darkness?
The reason for going into the darkness is, well, a couple things. I teach these light codes, and the next one is the sacred holy womb. And about a year or so ago, I emailed some people to see if I could go into this dark retreat, and they were totally booked. And then I got an email just a few days ago, and they had an opening. And I thought, my God, that couldn't be more like in timing with working with the Sacred Holy Womb. And I got out this book with the Master Ascension Light Codes, this one. And here's the Sacred Holy Womb. And I started reading the passages, even though I wrote them, I forgot them. And it says to go into a dark retreat.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
And what did you learn?
So I went in there and I was a little nervous, just being by myself in the dark for 3 days. And what happens is you're there and you kind of get used to the space and how it's going to work, and then you blow out a candle and then it's pitch black, and you kind of adjust to being, finding your way, crawl into the bathroom, getting used to how to get back to your bed, and food is delivered and eating in the darkness. And the first couple days are just sort of orienting and sleeping and slowing down and totally realizing how much I rush
Mm.
and how busy I'm ready to get to the next thing, but there was no next thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you kind of just drop in. But then I had these experiences where, even though it was pitch black, a, a, I don't know if I'd call it a portal. I don't know what to call it because it wasn't a vision. My eyes were fully open, but it was like the fabric of the blackness opened into a space that was light, and something would be there. And the
Huh.
first one was like I entered into a space in my house.
Mm.
And then another one, a computer screen appeared, and someone from the other side, a loved one, showed up on the screen. And I had all these different experiences where, like, the fabric of reality in the darkness parted, and kept entering into these spaces. And what I was receiving is that right now, and between now and the winter solstice, we're going through this intense time, and we have this comet or this being that is in the sky, Three Eye Atlas arriving, and all of this energy and intensity that we're preparing for something. And for me, going into the darkness was that preparation to be in the womb of creation, like to just be in the emptiness of
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So while you're in the darkness, did any insights come in regards to, what's coming our way, Three Eye Atlas, how we should be preparing? I know that's a loaded question. There's a lot there.
There's a lot there. I did channel about Three Eye Atlas with Heather Ensworth, and the energy of it came through, and we could see. I don't know if it would again, but um, it what they keep showing me is that they keep saying energetically, we are approaching your planet. And in order to receive what's coming, as they described it as a delivery system, like
Hmm.
a delivery of fertilizing something to support our evolution,
Yeah.
that they need us to have a really, really open heart and a blank mind, like no speech, stillness, silence, emptiness, spaciousness of the mind. And so the darkness felt like a preparation to just be in the void, right? The place where everything begins, the emptiness, the space where the energies are also arriving from so that we can receive it. But if we're so full and distracted all the time and busy and moving and doing and thinking and reading and connecting, then we don't have the space to receive what's coming. So whatever's approaching is asking us to slow down, to be quiet, to disengage in a way from life, to get out in nature,
Mm.
and to prepare energetically.
So
Yeah.
it's good that my intuition told me to come to Sedona.
Yeah, totally. You're right on track.
Yeah. And so what is it that we're actually receiving?
Where it feels from the information that came through when I did channel it that we are receiving components of ancient codes that are billions of years old that are coming in. They'll be interacting with our sun. They'll be sending it through solar flares and our wind to us in different ways, and that they're bringing components up with them that will embed itself almost within our soil, within our DNA, within our beings to support a quickening in our human biological evolution.
Wow.
Uh, it's a delivery system, is what they
Wow.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is coming from Three Eye Atlas, or is that coming from a different energetic?
There's a big piece that's coming from Three Eye Atlas. So before I knew anything about Three Eye Atlas, Raphael talked a lot about the energy coming to like a culmination around the winter solstice.
Yeah.
It started at the spring equinox as the Kali Yuga was coming to a close. Then we had 9 months of gestation, which was like a birthing process. And then at the winter solstice, there would be this big opening, and they kept saying, "We are coming in, we are approaching." But we didn't know really what that meant. And Three Eye Atlas, as it turns out, happens to be the closest to the Earth on December 19th, which is just a day or two, ironically, magically, before the winter solstice.
Wow. And so are there any other energies that are coming through of note right now between now and then that we need to be aware of?
The strongest energy that's coming in for me is the Divine Mother.
Mm.
The creational feminine energy that you would think of as connected to the darkness, the emptiness, the void, the pregnant void, that is, full with so much that a love that is here to bring something new, but can't bring that newness to us unless we are also emptying out and creating space to receive it.
Now, what happens if we don't empty out?
Well, I think that it's okay wherever
Mm.
everybody is and whatever's going on for them is perfect.
Yeah.
But in order to make this real quantum leap in consciousness, the more of us that can kind of tune in and receive that message and empty out, I think the bigger the wave of love will come and the more of us will be able to feel it. So we're not just doing it for ourselves, but we're doing it for the collective. And there'll be so many people who won't be able to do that or won't receive that message. So those of us who are getting it, like you, perhaps on getting it on a different level and with different information, and you've been guided to be in Sedona and you're opening your heart and you're in this gorgeous vortex out there, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely.
Receiving, right? All this beautiful energy. It's a portal. And in that portal space, you're able to open the cells to receive all this light and this beauty that's coming. And with that, because we're in the quantum field and you're connected to everything and everyone, you're supporting that. And so for those who perhaps won't be able to have that experience or aren't tuned into that, we're all here to help everybody
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in what you specifically said in the darkness, how things started coming from the fabric of the quantum itself.
Yeah.
Um, because I heard Dave, we had Dave Clements on recently, and Dave, Dave's awesome. And he said that in December, his guides have been telling him that there's going to be massive waves coming to the earth that are actually going to be coming from the fabric of earth itself, which was really fascinating to hear.
Wow. Yeah. So it's all the same information. We're all picking up on it, right? Yeah, he's amazing. And so it's coming from the mother, from the fabric of the weaving of our reality that we've created, but it's also coming in from the cosmos, which is also the great mother. So
Yeah.
it's this very deeply feminine energy that's embracing so much opening up space for so much love. And so it feels like this enormous wave is going to come in December, and then it's going to keep coming in and flooding the planet. And some of us will feel that wave intensely, and others perhaps are not ready for that, or and that's perfect wherever everybody is, and they'll get another wave as time continues to move on. But I'm pretty prepared for something really magical coming. Yeah.
Now, what does that look like for us? So we receive these codes. What does the before and after picture look like for the humans that are actually able to receive these codes coming in?
So the only way I can kind of think of it is, let's say in 1987, we had the harmonic convergence. I started channeling 2 years after that, and I started opening up to the Kundalini in 87. And it was like a wave of enlightening was happening on the planet. And just maybe, handfuls of people were tuning in and channeling and connecting. And then we had 2020, 12, right? And that was like another big wave. And people were like, oh, well, on that date at that time, something incredible happened as the Mayan calendar ends. But it wasn't in a second, it wasn't in that moment, but it opened the floodgates, the door to an awakening process that we can see all over the planet of so many people tuning into information like this, channeling, connecting, doing grid work, all of that. And so this is just another big leap. And
Yeah.
so can we touch it on that day? Maybe there'll be some specific thing, but it will be this wave of love coming in
Woo.
as we just keep receiving it and moving faster and faster into these higher octaves.
Wow.
We're
Woo.
unifying the whole consciousness, which is so exciting.
Getting goosebumps, chills coming through. The wave of love is happening. I'm receiving it already.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And now, we hear a lot of people talk about a lot of different energies coming in, like all the time. How does this differ? Like, is this a once in a year event, once in a few year event, in your opinion, once in a 5 year event?
No, this is a once in a lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah, this is big one. This is a
Let's
really big
go.
Yeah, and so it's so exciting because we have this preparatory, this time to prepare. I mean, we only have a month and a half, so it's like a blink, right? Or two
Yeah.
months, whatever it might be. So I really want to invite people to
Get
slow
ready.
down,
Yeah.
empty their vessel, take good care of themselves, get out in nature, breathe, get really in touch with what's super important in life, cherish the people that they love,
Mm.
like really tap in and let all that other constructs and mind and busyness and things that we've got going on just sort of put let it go into the background for a bit and just, allow this energy to come in and permeate our field and activate the light body. Yeah.
What makes it a once in a lifetime event?
I don't know. And who am I to say that, right? But
Right, right, right.
it feels it just feels really big. And I've been doing this work for 37 years. Not that I'm any expert, but a long time.
Yeah.
And this is a really important wave. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And now, so when you tuned into Three Eye Atlas, could you just give us your perspective on what it is?
So, right, there's all this speculation out there. I can tell you what it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not something to be afraid of.
Beautiful. That's huge. Check that off the box.
Check that off the box. And if propaganda goes out there saying that it is, just dismiss it because it's a bunch of baloney. It is this frequency of love. It has this incredibly divine, beautiful intelligence and consciousness that is delivering to us substances through its biological energies and components, what it's made up of, and delivering it to our solar system and planets along the way, and to our sun, and then to us. And it's right on time, and it's ancient and old and incredible. And so we're just here to receive its wisdom.
That's awesome. And what is Raphael saying about everything going on?
Raphael, it's just keeps coming back to the simplest stuff, right? Like there's
Yeah.
nothing to do but be. Like, can we just be and breathe and love each other and lean into it? And it's, I think that sometimes when we look out into the chaos of the world, it feels as though things are hopeless or destructive or horrible. But to the contrary, Raphael's like, no, you're dismantling everything just on time. Everything is unfolding as it should be. Huge releases taking place that open up the space for something new.
Yeah, yeah. So for anyone listening that is wanting to start preparing, it's really just kind of taking some time to yourself, disconnect, really get in touch with everything in your life that's meaningful, the ones around you that you love, and slow down.
Yeah, and you could go as far as, I went into 3 full days of darkness, but you could even put a blindfold on for an hour during the day, or have a meal in the dark and light candles at night, and make sure your phone is off when the sun sets, and put it away and not touch it till the sun rises. Get rid of blue light coming in, on devices in your bathroom. Sleep in the darkness, cocoon, spend time out in the woods. Just really, go play with the trees and talk to them, and like all that might seem silly stuff to start to get us in tune so we can feel and assimilate and receive the energies as they're arriving. Yeah.
And now the extra energies that are coming in for people, like, is it gonna cause a purging or is it a different type of energetic that we're receiving?
Doesn't feel that way. I mean, the only thing that did potentially come in is it may create some disruption in our field with the earth in terms of potential volcanic eruptions or earthquakes or things like that. But I don't like to get into that or talk about that, because then people are like, "Oh, they're worried about all that."
Yeah,
Just wherever
yeah.
you're supposed to be, whatever's happening is perfect. And the more that we can hold the space, the less it could be just something that happens under the ocean in a far place that doesn't affect humans in any way, right? But yes, there will be a lot of receiving and things going on with the water, the magnetic field, the earth, volcanic activity, all of that. Yeah.
Okay. And now have you kind of tuned into 2026 and what that's like? Are we gonna start living in what people call the new earth?
Hmm. I think that we're going to have more and more glimpses, right? We're just going to be stepping through the veil, and we have these moments, or at least I do, where everything feels so 5D,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
right, and then it drops back into 3D, and then you
Yeah,
go and you're back and forth. I think those the periods of time that we're able to hold it.
yeah.
Raphael always says, hold it, hold it. So it's like those visions I was having in the dark. You're in the blackness, the fabric of reality opens, something new arises, and then it would close up quick. As soon as I would put my attention in a way of like I was trying to keep it open, it would close. But the more I could surrender to it and just be with it, the longer it would stay open. And so I think it's the same with the 5D. We're moving into this new realm, this new reality that we're giving birth to.
Yeah,
And the more we can surrender to it and be witness to it and hold it energetically, the more it stays open. So we'll have longer periods of time with these feelings that we're experiencing until they get larger and larger and larger, and they override the third dimension of the denser frequencies, and that becomes the new reality. So now we're bridging both, and some are very deeply enmeshed in 3D, and they're only having maybe once in a while a tiny glimpse of 5D. Others are having more and more glimpses. Some are really being able to hold it for a long period of time, but most people are still wavering between the two.
yeah,
And so, with this energy coming in, it's going to open the aperture for us to hold it for longer periods of time and stay in it. And the more we can stay in it and hold that frequency, the more we can reach down and be of service and help others into that space where they're sort of will be ushered in without necessarily having to. It's like we're paving the road, right? And then others might just drive along and be like, oh, that's nice. But they didn't have to go through the preparation of getting it all prepared, if that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm curious your take on because we hear a lot of people talk about like the new Earth and then that there's two Earths and then that there's an infinite number of Earths. Like, what's your perception on what's actually happening from an evolution of Earth itself?
We'd have to ask Raphael that, but I think that there's infinite realities and infinite Earths in a way.
Right.
um, and so, just like we all have so many different infinite perspectives and realities, there's these different energetic vibrations, but the collective is still holding upon the earth a certain relationship and frequency to it. And so, in order to make that leap, we have to collectively leap with her as she is ascending.
Yeah. And she is ascending.
Oh my God. Yeah. She's totally ascending.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, when I took off that blindfold, I was just brought me to tears just to see the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right? Because you're in
yeah.
blackness, and then it's like everything is so alive, and you're like, oh my God, I have been missing this whole time.
So it's really an undoing versus like a doing anything.
Oh, it's a complete undoing.
Mm.
Yeah, we're filled all the way up to here. We have no space to see the beauty that's already right here. So we're so in our mind distracted about figuring out what we have to do or what's next or what's going to happen that we've lost complete sight of the presence,
Yeah.
which is magnificent all the time right here in front of us.
So if somebody's listening and they feel really in the 3D and like the 5D is completely far away, what message would you say as a first step for them?
To come back to their breath, just take a breath and come into stillness and ask themselves in this very second, right now, not in a minute or two or not last week, is everything okay? Are you okay right here, right now, in this second? Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Awesome. Now, are there any other messages you have from the darkness that you want to share before we talk to Raphael?
Mm. No, I don't think so. It was something, it may not be for everyone, but for
Yeah,
me it felt very deeply familiar and comforting and supportive. So, yeah. It's something that I would definitely recommend. And we think about the ancient ones and the Tibetans and the great saints and the avatars. They would always go into the darkness, into the caves for long periods of time, and for good reason.
yeah. It's been a pretty wild, magical ride for Leah and I lately, and it felt pretty 5D. I told you that we recently met a lady. We were walking around the farmers market, and this lady, Monica, came up to us and said that she's seen us on YouTube, and she has this beautiful house she wants us to check out to host retreats. And so we went and checked out the house, and it's like the most magical house in the world. And she's
And
like,
where is it?
in Situate, Mass. Yeah, where we live. And so she asked us
Oh,
to move in. And so now we're like inviting our collaborative to come there and heal. And it feels so surreal in ways that this is actually life. But, I think just being in the heart space for me and given like deep gratitude for this beautiful life and all the opportunities come to my life, I can feel like the universe just wanting to reflect back that it appreciates the gratitude I've given for everything going on. And it's very amazing. So that's what the 5D for me is.
yeah, it's amazing. And when you're in that space, everything clicks and is synchronistic and magical and abundant and beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we would love for you and Raphael to come out to the spot. I know you're a frequent New England traveler.
Yeah, I am. I am. So anytime for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, let's talk to Raphael. Let's see what Raphael has to say about everything going on. I'm really excited.
Okay.
The last time I talked to Raphael was mind blowing.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. We are very delighted from the angelic realm to be here and to attune to you and your energy in this now moment as we find your vibration in this magnificent and powerful portal where a crystalline city of light resides and much is occurring at this time for the anchoring in and the ushering in of the new earth within the four corners, attuning to the indigenous ones and the deep beating drum of the earth, opening up the space to the kingdoms of frequencies that fly above as the hawks make themselves known and present, and attuning to that which has been written by our sky sisters and brothers and star beings upon the stone and the red rock within the energetic space in which you find yourself. You are here, and it is of no coincidence as you are opening up the heart space for the receptivity of the energies that are arriving at this time in droves on your planet to begin to amplify the vibrations of love. And many people, like yourself, are finding yourself drawn to specific sacred spaces on the earth at this time to open a conduit of light for the receiving, as the amplifiers of these sacred places are deeply supportive in the receptivity of what is coming. We are very happy to be here at this time and attuned to you and those who are listening to this transmission. And so, what is it you are wanting to speak to us about?
Thank you. It's awesome to connect with you again. I would love if you could just talk to us about what we can expect coming in December.
Ah. Oh, there is a stitching occurring, a weaving happening, of a birthing of a new reality. And it is that there have been many gathering together from the stars and the inner earth as well in the weaving and the beauty of this creation that comes from the mother source herself. And it is the first time that there has been a collaborative that is coming from so many different elements and energies to weave together the fabric of this reality, of this energy that is arriving and approaching your planet at this time. And so for some, they will be blinded of these changes, and for many, they will begin to step into this new way of being as they will feel rushes of energy moving up their spine, openings and spaces occurring within their pineal gland, visions amplifying, miracles taking place, creation through instant thought coming online, communication telepathically, and connecting to others around the planet instantaneously. As all of these gifts that have lied dormant within you and your energetic fields are turning on. And so there will be a surge of these happenings, these experiences, these attunements to these frequencies, which will open, as we often speak of, the aperture for the receiving within that space of more to arrive until this begins to create a blanketing of light in which your attunement to your own garment of light is merging as one, and you are in an awakened state moving through the realms of form and matter. And so this is a great wave of energy that is very powerful and potent that is arriving at this time.
Now, when you said it's unique in that it's a collaborative, could you talk about that?
Well, it is that many are involved. And so there are federations of energies and light and star beings. There are councils. There is our energy from the angelic realm. There are energies that are ancient and very, very old that dwell deep within the center and the core of your earth, and ancient galactic frequencies coming from the core of the emptiness that are meeting here on earth, that are having a rendezvous, that are gathering in celebration. And as they arrive, the potency and the power of these energies and frequencies will start to be felt within the collective with all living things as an aliveness begins to occur and take place and a stirring in the hearts. And so you will start to receive the wisdom and the ancient understandings, the knowledge, and the deep connection of the weaving of creation itself, and the potentiality of deep remembering of how to weave together the fabrics of reality, in which, in a collective, you will begin to form new systems and new beliefs in how reality is perceived and reflected through the holographic field within your energetic perspective, meaning that as you came through the birth canal and arrived here, and that aperture was open from the darkness and the emptiness of the space of the womb in which you were carried in, you arrived within the collective of particular thought forms, beliefs, ideologies, and ancestral lineages. And those systems are now dissolving in many ways, and you are beginning to create, you are weaving together with the assistance of ancient information and wisdom and rememberings a new fabric of reality. And so, as you move through energetically this birth canal, again, like a rebirth from the emptiness which is needed in order to come into the light itself, you will be receiving codes of information that will inform and begin to reflect a reality that is unknown to you from where you are now. Just as the reality as you began to evolve from the time you came through the birth canal is unknown from the space inside the womb. You are being held at this time within that empty space again. And as you enter through this portal of energy right now on your planet, you are arriving in a new reality. And that reality is being woven together in collaboration with you as a collective species within the human collective thought patterns that are awake enough to be aware and conscious and intentional in the weaving in a relationship to those that are in other energetic systems that are of support within this weaving of this creation of this experience in which you are stepping over the threshold, or in a sense being initiated into.
Now, Kelly had mentioned that this is a once in a lifetime event. Do you agree with that?
Oh, it is that everything is a once in a lifetime event because everything is always new. Today, when you woke up this morning, it was a once in a lifetime event in the way in which you awoke and who it is that you are in this moment. And so, yes, it will be that, but from the perspective in which she is speaking of, meaning of its value and importance, it is of great importance. And those who are able to recognize the significance of it through the cherishing of the moment will fully receive all of the blessings that are arriving. Just like some may wake up this morning without any recognition of their breath or the gratitude that it is a new day or the beauty or the blessings that are arising bestowed upon them as they are awakening into the fabric of a reality in which was created by them and for them. But as they step into the deep sense of gratitude for that awakening, and that begins to amplify and amplify and amplify within the collective as you move through these spaces, and as the receiving and the approaching of these energies are arriving, many collectively will awaken in that deep sense of awe. And in that sense, it is a momentous moment.
Could you help us prepare for this?
It is that when you are following your intuitive knowing, such as you have followed it to find yourself where you are preparing. And so listen to the instincts. For this morning, this one was awoken in the dark and asked to drive to a place to align with the Black Madonna as she entered into a church, a place she had not been in perhaps more than a decade. And as she entered it, there was a place in which she sat and received codes of energies and information in which it prepared her for the journey ahead. And for others, they might awaken and feel a call to fly to a vortex or to a sacred site or to a place, or simply to lie outside on the lawn looking up at the stars at the nighttime, or to take a walk in the midnight hours of the darkness, or awaken to see the sunrise. Or they may feel an impulse that calls them to the edge of the water to listen to the waves of the ocean, or to look up at the rustling leaves in the trees. But when you feel an impulse or an attunement that carries or invites you somewhere, listen to it. This is a time of preparation to deeply tune in and listen to your intuitive knowing, and to allow it to be your compass as it is guiding you in the preparatory state and moments of this time. I am preparing the womb space of the sacred holy womb, the emptiness, the darkness, the pregnant void, the space of nothingness where all new things come forward and are born through as the light crosses over it and hits the water, opening and breaking the water for the aperture of the birth canal to begin to open into a new realm and a new reality. And so the preparation in which I am expanding within the light code that I will be sharing with Kelly is one way of preparing. But you can all prepare in whatever way feels good to you, whatever is calling to you, wherever you are meant to be. This is a time not to disregard your intuitive instincts or your inner knowing, but to follow them in the most deep and profound and sacred way.
I just started to receive a bunch of light codes as you were speaking. Was that you that was coming through?
Perhaps. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I'm curious if you could talk about the Earth's evolution right now.
Well, she is evolving, as are you, and is emanating more light, more love than ever before, and is asking all of you to commune and to connect and to honor and to feel and to witness her and her beauty. For this supports her in her evolution, in her ascension, and Of course, you and her cannot nor have ever been separate. And as you align with her beauty and her frequency and pay attention to her and communicate with her, she prepares you for what is happening, and you prepare her for her receiving the worthiness of her own light and the remembering for her own self, her own magnificence. As you are uncovering and aligning in the remembering of your magnificence, she is doing that as well as she projects that light toward you and reflects it in every living thing in which you can perceive through the retina of your eye. May you drop into awe and blessings of gratitude of all of that. And then the receptivity of that, you are aligning and supporting her in her own evolution. Your evolution on a biological level and hers cannot be separated. They are the same. And so, as your DNA is evolving, she is evolving. And as she is evolving, you are evolving. You are held and embraced within the space of her womb. And she is carrying you through this process as you collectively and together and give birth to these new realities.
Thank you. Could you speak about your take on Three Eye Atlas and, you know, the human and non-human nature of it?
It is not human. There is nothing about it that is human-like in the way that you are human, and yet it is completely human-like in another way, because you are made of the stars, and inside of you, you are literally made of the cosmos, and so is it. And so you can interface and interact with it, but it is of significant high intelligence. It is a consciousness of love that is beyond words, and it is delivering much for you at this time. And it is deliberate, it is not haphazard, and it has an operating system that is operating it, meaning that it is a part of a larger consciousness, and it is in alignment with a blueprint that is here at this time to deliver and to fertilize specific energetic components that speed up the evolution of you as a species and support the ascension and evolution of your humanness and also of your earth simultaneously all at once. And as it interfaces with your solar system, it is delivering these codes, and the delivery system that will be most potent will be from the sun and the plasmic light in which it is interacting with, as it is now hidden from you in the darkness, in which it cannot be seen, as it is dancing in a celestial dance with the sun to interact in a way, and the planets to receive all that is needed and to interact in terms of receiving and delivering information that then will be delivered to you across the solar winds and the flares that will ignite a quickening of your evolutionary process on the planet. And so it is a beautiful gift, and it is extraordinarily ancient, loving, powerful, and potent.
So are you saying that as it's passing behind the sun, it's going to increase what gets shed off the sun? Like, if you could just help me understand that a little more.
As it is connecting with the sun and comes closer and closer in contact with it, it will be interacting. And in that interaction, the sun itself will be receiving components, should we say. And those codes and components and chemical formations and energies and consciousness and frequencies will be absorbed by the sun, which will reflect them. And then they will be projected as what you call, in a sense, it's almost flares of light that will interact with all of you, and you will receive them, which will create a new life forms on a biological level to begin to form and to give birth to, that will shift the consciousness completely and will change and begin to create the spark that is needed, like the spark in the emptiness that gave rise to new life. And so it is a delivery system that will interact, and part of the energies that are received and interacted through the sun will impact the planet and will also be delivered through water, H2O, and nitrogen. And there is going to be a way in which this will have an impact on the biological life.
So when you say that there's going to be new life forms, is that all life forms?
It is that there is going to be a delivery of many beings that will come in the form of children on your planet who are of an avatar quality that carry codes and frequencies of pure light that are opening an aperture to a new being. And so the evolutionary process will take place in the sequence in which it has before, but those who will be arriving will be different. They will be carrying different DNA. Their RNA will be changing. Their telomeres will be changing. They will be adapting to the changing reality, and they will be harnessing or embodying light at a much higher octave than previous energetic energies. However, all of you that are already here on the planet will also simultaneously be receiving this light that is descending upon you, and this will start to activate inside of you that which will already be activated in those who will be arriving. And so you will start to feel changes in your body, in the way you see things, the way you feel, the way you interact, the way you commune with one another. And those arriving will also be assisting this. And in addition to that, all living biological life, meaning anything that is here on the planet, will also be receiving this and also evolving. So your connection or interaction with any living energy, whether that be an animal or a tree or light or water, the recognition of its consciousness and its woven connection to you will be much stronger, much more apparent, where the capacity of this deep sleep that you have been in as a collective, where you have disregarded and forgotten how woven and connected you are to every living thing, and that your thought, your consciousness, your feeling, your behavior, your actions, your words have a deep and profound impact on the collective formation of reality and all living things in which you interact with. And so as that aliveness amplifies, it will change the collective in its consciousness, because it will recognize its own divinity and its presence, meaning it would be difficult to disregard something or to cut down something or to trash something or to war against something or to hurt something, because the aliveness will be so present, so you will be so in touch with it that it would take a lot within your energetic field to move against that divinity of that divine perfection that is being perceived and mirrored back to you. And so what it is reflecting your own unity, your own light, your own connection, your own divinity in front of you. And so as that amplifies, that in which you perhaps looked to in the past that was in a deep sleep of forgetting, that may continue to, for a period of time, act out, will be have a more difficult time doing it in the face of its connection to its own divinity. For harming it, there will be an awakened understanding that in harming another, any living specimen, any living organism, any living being or child or adult or energy of any kind is simply hurting oneself, that the boomerang back of the energy to oneself will be so strong in the recognition that it is all connected, that much of what has held you and cloaked you in the darkness of your deep forgetting of your union with one another will fall away, because the power of the united frequency of love will be so potent that one would deeply have to be in a sense of extreme disconnect in order to act out energies that are violent or that create suffering.
Now, are these changes coming permanent, or is it really important that we capture this light as it comes in?
It's very important that you are open and prepared for the receiving of it, and that you keep receiving it and evolving and holding a container of sacredness for these energies as they then are emanated out across the globe. And it will take, in your understanding of linear time, a period of time for them to begin to blanket and to find their ways into the crevices of spaces that are in deep sleep frequencies. But they will continue to flood the planet and move into these crevices and spaces in which you will start to notice that peace and agreements and willingness to come together will start to become more permanent, more normalized, more energy and attention focused in these ways. And older ways of division and divisiveness will slowly begin to fall away and dissolve in the presence of this energy, of this love.
Now, this new species that of human that is going to happen, you said it's going to be a new avatar. Are these going to be hybrid children or entirely human, just different biology? And is it important for us, like, if this energy is coming down now, is this the time to be having kids to really, you know, take advantage of this amazing energy that's coming?
Yes, many children are coming in, and many who are perhaps not expecting to have children will, and many will be very gravitated to others who are having children to be in their presence, as if you can see the galactic stars in the depth of their eyes. They will perhaps feel more energetically balanced between the divine masculine and the divine feminine frequencies. They will be a bit bigger in their birth rate. They will be stronger. They will develop a bit faster. And as their energies and qualities begin to come online, you will recognize that they will be embodying qualities that many of you will start to be activating as well within your own fields, but that they will be second nature to them.
That's beautiful. So is this a time that we should really be having kids?
Yeah. And it is interesting because many will not want to have children because of fear of the unfolding reality of your world. But simultaneously, there is a timeline that is absolutely magnificent, and it is the ushering in of these beings that is deeply important and valuable in bringing this light at this time to the planet.
So are we moving into what people have described as the new Earth more permanently? Because what you're like describing sounds quite wonderful.
Yes, and simultaneously, there is another timeline that is perhaps we are hoping can be dissolved, but is still at this time unraveling, in which there is a split of sorts in timelines. One coming from Mother Source itself on a biological level, evolving at a rapid pace, and another where energies get caught in a frequency that binds them for a period of time in something that is more dense. And however, this does not need to be. And so we encourage you all to keep focusing and bringing your attention to the timeline as you step over the threshold into higher vibrations of love.
So is it December where this split in timelines is occurring? Is there definitely going to be a split, or is it a potential that could happen?
It is a potential for every second. It is always changing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, is there any other messages you want us to know about the energies coming in?
Oh, we encourage you to spend time in the darkness looking at the night sky, and to arrive and attune to the sun rising and setting as we have prepared Kelly and are encouraging her to do many practices as she is preparing this womb space for all of you. We are inviting all of you to drop into the emptiness, to the stillness, to the magic, to the beauty of the earth, to deep, deep connection and remembering, and to let go of all of that that seems so important that perhaps is not, and to reevaluate where you are wanting to place your energy, your attention, your love, your words, and your light. We send to you from the angelic realm many blessings, much love, and good day. Aww.
Wow, that was extraordinary. A new human is being born. Did you already
Yeah,
know that?
yeah, they've been talking about that.
Wow, that was really quite special. I'm really looking forward to going back and watching that a lot because there was so much in there about what's happening and how we can receive it, what we should be doing to prepare. It really feels like an amazing time to be alive. And what I really love about Raphael is there was nothing fear-based. It seems like it's really just an awesome time to be alive.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
totally is.
So is there anything else you want to share? What's going on in your life? How can we support you? Is there any way that I know you do these amazing DNA activations, meditations, stuff like that? And from what I hear from our community, everyone loves them. It
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, well, we're going into the sacred holy womb for 3 weeks. So,
yeah.
yeah, if anybody wants to come and join us, they can. We would love that.
Oh yeah, and you'll be doing that?
Yeah, October 27th for 9 days, the 9 months of gestation in the sacred holy womb, where I'll channel 9 transmissions, and we'll have a few thousand people gathered together doing that. Yeah.
That is so cool that you do that. Big hats off to you. And what I've heard from people is it's like, Kelly's amazing, Raphael's amazing. When you do these DNA activations, you like realize like, wow, this is another level of just you're the real deal. So thank you so much, Kelly.
That's so
Um,
sweet. Thanks, Kyle.
yeah, we love you and we'll get this up right away so that people can join you in the womb there.
Okay, well, thanks.
Thank you so much.
You're
Bye
welcome.
everybody.
Enjoy Sedona.
Yeah, I'm going to see all the spots today. So
Good.
yeah.
Good.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
All right, thanks. Bye.